If you are a new or returning player to Epic 7, this is the perfect beginner guide for you to watch. First thing we're going to be talking about is the Adventurer's Path. If you guys were ever wondering while playing Epic 7 what you guys need to do next, this questline basically streamlines the entire early and mid game for new players and will guide you in the right direction by teaching you how to play the game and also giving you free rewards. For a decent starter team, guys, I would recommend using a Soul Weaver in the front, such as Angelica, with 3 damage dealing units in the back line. Warriors, thieves, rangers, or mages, anything that is available to you guys. Try to progress as far as you can while trying to 3-star every stage by doing the requirements to obtain bonus rewards. By 3-starring every stage for every chapter, you will get a ton of Sky Stones to use to purchase Covenant bookmarks to summon all of those beautiful units that you want.
So let's talk about Covenants, Galaxies, Element Summons, Mystic Summons, Friendship Summons, and then a little bit about Selective Summons Season 1 and 2, where I'll give my suggested hero picks and where to use them. My suggestions for Selective Summons Season 1, currently up to date, would be Destina, Fire Ravi, and Iseria. Destina is just a powerhouse unit and is probably my number 1 overall pick because of her strength in PvP, where she has awesome healing, CR push on skill 2, and access to revive where she can be used in standard matches against aggressive opponents, everything. Fire Ravi, not as strong as Destina, but still a very strong fire bruiser, and if you're lacking fire units that are good in PvP and PvE, take a look at her. She got recently buffed. Very good as well.
Looking at the 6, you have Judge Kisei. Judge Kisei overall does not get used much in almost any content. She is a very well designed character, but it's not really worth going for her in any capacity. She has a good skill kit, but the requirements for her to be used is you have to use really good gear, and that gear would be better used on somebody else. So Arbiter Villager. Arbiter Villager is always a solid option. If you ended up taking Arby or are wanting to take Arby, he isn't bad. He's harder to use now, but I still see quite a bit of success with him. I would say he's ranked number 2 for me. Now, the winner of this, the character I think everybody should take no matter what, is Spectre Tenebria. Spectre Tenebria, on my account, she is the reason I am where I am in PvP in terms of RTA.
Hello Internet! So you gave up on reality and you decided to be the best in Epic 7. If that's the case, I can totally help you. I'm also down with real life too. In this video, I'll be recommending, educating, showing, explaining, describing, and all in all, planting my seeds of knowledge in you. What are the best 3, 4, and 5 stars for beginners? Firstly, understand this. To be the best, you have to spend the most time in the game, specifically for gear farming. For any beginners out there, if you're ever confused about what to do as a newbie, just try and beat Wyvern 13. Once you're able to, try and make an auto team for it. And that's the easiest way I can explain what you have to do as a newer player without having it be too long. As you try to beat Wyvern 13, you realize you have to basically go through Adventure, Labyrinth, Abyss, Raid, and much more to achieve that goal. But for this video, I'm here to tell you which are the characters that will help you out the most to achieve these goals. If you like more guys from me, go ahead and hit the like button. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Mango7Real here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Mango Tries to Mentor Some People. So let's jump right into this with some 3 stars. The first artifact I want to talk about is a 3-star that is very easy to get and very important to get as well. It is Daydream Joker. This one increases the damage dealt by 3% of the target's max HP when attacking. This means the higher the HP target, the more damage you're going to do. So first we can see with Daydream Joker, 41,000 plus another 27,000 versus without Daydream Joker, 26,000 and 15,000.
Today, let's talk about how to build heroes for beginner. Essentially, the more max level heroes you have, or anytime you have max level heroes period, any of their experience doesn't go to waste. Instead, it goes straight into the penguins. So that means, guys, you don't have to carry lower level units with a strong unit. You can just run all max level heroes, use them for friendship farming, which we'll cover again later in this video, or you can use just any hero you want that you like and, you know, maybe complete those star achievements, like run X amount of elemental heroes, run a ranger, run a warrior, whatever that might be. For 5 stars, we would just repeat this process 5 more times with the Mega Phantasmos, that entire process I showed you, to get a 5-star, as y'all can see here, into 6 stars. Next, let's talk about skill enhancements. So as the name implies, this will enhance our skills, and the costs for these are going to be Molagora and Catalysts, okay? Now, Guys, this is a lot of Molagora, but this is a rare resource. So those of you watching, if you're newer, you may not have nearly as many as me. So that means you're going to want to invest these a little bit more carefully, especially if you're free to play.
So just keep that in mind. This game is long grind. But with the Hunt Expert Challenge, once you start this, there is going to be two sets of gear you get from this. You're going to get this tier 75 HP set. So health set isn't the most effective set, but the pieces in here are going to be usable on pretty much everything. I still use a lot of these pieces. So here's the gear I am talking about though. If you go down to conquest points, you can see there's this new gear. Whenever a new arena season starts, they release new gear. But the problem is it's expensive. It's 1200. That takes a long time to get. That takes with left side gear versus right side gear. Right side gear is very, very hard. Right side gear is the hardest part of this game. Like I said, aim for crit damage. And then once you have crit damage, try to get proper substats. With crit damage, you're going to want crit chance, attack percent, speed on an offensive character. If it's an HP scaling damage dealer, you're going to want HP percent, crit chance, speed, defense percent.
If I could go back in time, there are a ton of things that I would have done differently on my account. In this video, I'm going to share with you what you should be doing every day, as well as how to effectively progress and not make the mistakes that I made when I first started playing. The first thing to understand is what you should be doing every day when you log into Epic 7. First and foremost, I would recommend following your daily reputation missions and reach 100 points to get all of your daily rewards. Make sure to also buy the available energy from the shop for friendship points and conquest points to maximize the amount of farming you can also do every day. Now, also make sure to use your flags for the day in Arena to maximize your conquest point gain to buy the arena equipment, which will help your early game gearing immensely. On my new account, I really realized that the arena gear is super strong for newer players, and I highly recommend that you guys not only use your flags every hour, but also purchase the flags with your friendship points because of how strong the arena equipment is for newer players.
So the first thing that you need to understand is that even when you start in this game, you can definitely go and climb in the arena. I have 5 accounts. As a free-to-play player, I've tried so many different play styles, so many team compositions. I'm going to be able to assist you with the knowledge that I've acquired throughout the years, and now you can see different brackets, different ranks that you can reach in the arena, and a lot of promotion rewards, a lot of sky stones you can get at the first time, and then you got the weekly rewards. You always go and pick these sky stones. You don't go with the mystic medals because the value for sky stones is just going to be better. Now, all the gear that you can purchase from the conquest point in the shop.
Today we're going to be talking about how you guys should be tackling Ancient Inheritance and why it is so important to clear. Through Battlefield in Ancient Inheritance here, and you're going to see that there are a lot of rewards you can get. So if we look at the exchange tab, for the currency you can farm here, you can get pieces of gear, right? Lifesteal set for this season, there's Molagoras, there's these very prized modification gem selection chests, covenant bookmarks, a lot of artifact charms, and more. Also, you can get for the main reward from killing the bosses of each floor. There are 4 areas or floors in Ancient Inheritance. You get insane pieces of loot. You have the newly buffed Unity set. Now, I highly recommend only using 2 classes of heroes. You're going to see I only have warriors and also soul weavers. I definitely recommend soul weavers. They are the best, especially for newer players, to support your team, heal them, and you also are going to be able to run another class with it, which I recommend to be a damage dealing class, right? So you have that healer, you also have that damage dealer, and I definitely recommend between warriors, rangers, mages, or thieves, because those are the highest damage dealing classes in the game. You obviously do not want to bring a knight to deal damage because a lot of knights don't do that much damage.
So first off, if you are a newer player, you're going to be given a pet immediately. They're going to have probably pretty bad skills, and it is what it is. Once you get your first pet, you can start doing auto battling, and until you can get some of these higher up skills, just use that pet. It's not a huge deal. Pets are amazing for the game. They give you a ton of extra things. So lobby type pets, almost every skill on this is good. This is going to be kind of hard to decide what you want. Some people do 2 lobby pets and switch them off depending on what they're doing at the time. But the only skill that isn't really worth a whole lot is a hero level up EXP. You don't need that. You don't need it at all. Leveling heroes is so easy in this game now with the Penguin Overflow and all the new changes they made. If you weren't playing the game before, the new changes, don't worry about this. but every other one is very good. Your enhanced cost is huge. Gold, I always have trouble with gold in this game because I refresh shop for bookmarks a lot. It's important. But next up, you have your battle pet. So first off, battle pet. Hunt pet, most important. So if you're just getting into the game and just get whatever lobby pet with at least 1 to 2 of these skills that are pretty good. You don't have to get S rank either.
Hello Internet! Today's the day we have given up on adhering to real life and consume yourself into the anime waifus and husbandos. If you're trying to play Epic 7 and have a great time, you need to first defeat Wyvern 13. As my teacher says, what to do? Beat Wyvern. Who to build? Beat Wyvern. Hotel? Trivago. Well, I mean, beat Wyvern. And today, after 4 years, I finally decided to make a Wyvern 13 guide. The boss has 2 passives. The first one makes ice heroes do more damage to it, while others do less. The boss also gets a push every time non-ice units take a turn. The second passive makes the Wyvern hit only the front line if it has 2 or more debuffs. You mainly want to abuse the second passive by constantly putting debuffs on him so he only hit your front line. You put your tankiest unit here so it survives while the rest shoots the boss. That's all its passive does, to be honest. Very simple.
And this time, let's talk about everything related to Royal Capital Asmocalis, as well as the Asmocalis of Cycle Normal, and a little bit about the Nightmare mode, as all of this just recently got revamped big time. One quick note, guys, I jumped into the portal and the logistics officer found in this Royal Capital Asmocalis, the 1 clear time version. So I ended up using a team of Angelica as my tank. She also provides some backup healing and cleansing. My single target damage is heavily carried by Commander Lorena. My area of effect, this is going to be very important. We want units that can hit multiple targets as well as stealth targets. That'll be done from Mercedes, Fire Mercedes. And last but not least, I have Montmorency, specially changed Montmorency, who's going to do the heavy lifting in terms of the main cleanser and main healer.
Today we're doing a very quick, very brief tutorial on Hall of Trials. And speaking of points, if we click into the bottom left here into rewards, you can see what kind of rewards you're going to get. But we also have some other things. We can see Sword of Ezra here, some more artifacts, Ayala Violin, Crimson Seed, a very, very, very powerful artifact for somebody like Apocalypse Ravi. And then on the right side here, we can see Thieves are granted 30% attack, defense, and max health, and then increases damage suffered by moss monsters inflicted with bleeding by 75%. So very important to take advantage of these if you want to get the max score and the max reward. And if you're wondering how to figure out what kind of units you might use, if we go to Thief Heroes here at the bottom right.
All right, so this is the main boss, Hades. So every time there are going to be 2 little enemies behind him that whenever they do their S1 attack, they're going to pull him in for a dual attack. Whenever he attacks you, he's going to be causing injury damage. And the injury damage stacks up and it gets super annoying. But you also have a counter. Every time you hit him, you have a counter that goes up. When that counter goes up, he does more damage to you and it goes up to 5. So I believe I use Sword of Judgment for extra S1 procs to higher my defense break chance. So that is my team. Here are some other teams. I'll just talk about them real quick. So in these other teams, you see Asaria is the #1 character you use.
Today we're going to be talking all about Golem Hunt stage 13 in specific. Next, for its basic attack, Shockwave. It is an AoE attack with a 2-turn defense break that has an additional extra damage effect. This hits very hard, especially if you end up losing a unit, so having healing and cleansing for that defense break is very important to actually mitigate and suppress that damage. For your Soldier slot, I'm definitely going to recommend Tamarin or Mascot Hazel. Very, very powerful healers, and they will make your life a lot easier. For your Knight slot, I'm going to recommend Adventurer Ross or even Lilius. Very powerful as well. They have a lot of utility built into their kits. And for your damage dealers, you can have a mix of the following units: Ravi, Sirmia, Soul, Bomb Model Kana, Ken, Tenebria, Edward Elric, Hwayoung, Haste. Pretty much anything works here as long as you fill out that checklist. So yes, the boss has a lot of defense breaks, very, very annoying to deal with. You can even see the stuns are very annoying to deal with as well. And even my Sirmia, who is my main damage dealer, is getting debuffed very, very frequently.
So let's get into this. So first off, we've got 5 different areas here, and let's just talk about the basis of the sanctuary. Top left first into the Forest of Soul, and we're gonna go through where to put your points. So actually, to start things off, we're gonna go in Heart of Orbis, because this is the one I personally just ignore because it's too much manual effort for me to get enough back, which means I have to be logged into the game too much and have to keep coming back to this too much and drop what I'm doing to be able to take advantage of it. So from this screen here, you have a couple things. First, let's go take a look at improved building. This is where you're going to see how all of them work and what they do. And we have the middle one here, which allows you to generate gold and skystones per hour. And skystones per hour sounds like a really good thing, but if you add up how much you get and how active you have to get, it's just not worth it for me personally. But if you really, really, really need those skystones, you're gonna want something like this too, but not for me.
In a guild, there's a mode called Guild War, which is basically the most consistent way to earn Mystic Medals. And Mystic Medals is the most consistent way to reach pity in the Mystic Summit, which means ML5s galore. If you're a newer player, you want to win Guild Wars. So in this video, I'll be explaining to you how you can win every Guild War when you don't lose, or basically how to maximize your chances of winning. This is mainly for newer players as well, since if you are new, you're probably already winning most Guild Wars. First and foremost, try and find an active guild. If you're in a bad guild, you might even have the chance to get in a guild war. So you want to search up guild recruitments on Epic 7's Reddit page, Epic 7's Discord, or just any other Epic 7 creators Discord, and even on Twitch streams, and basically anywhere as long as there's Epic 7 players. The community is pretty helpful and pretty loving, so